As the youngest member of the Senate, I bring a different perspective about the urgency of taking this action now. As we're considering this infrastructure bill and considering making historic investments in clean energy and in green transit solutions, we're making a national decision about the future of our planet and the future of our society. This is an inflection point for the United States and for the world. Are we going to assert our vision and our strength and our will to change the way we've been doing business for decades now, ignoring a scientific consensus about the dangers posed to all of us by climate change, and taking the steps we have to take now to transition to clean and renewable energy? Solar is going to be one of the most important sources of energy in the next 30 years. And in the next 10 years in particular, as we rapidly transition away from fossil fuel combustion to renewable energy, solar is an important part of solving that puzzle. It might sound kind of dry, solar manufacturing tax credit, but what does that mean? It means that we bring the production of solar panels and solar technology back to the United States. We employ tens of thousands of skilled workers here in America to build the technology that powers the transition to clean and renewable energy, that reduces our carbon emissions and saves our environment. Washington has gotten in the habit of kicking the can on this. I mean, it's been decades that scientists have warned policymakers that if we don't take action to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, the consequences could be dire. But for decades and decades, Washington has not taken the necessary action. When we're flying in to American cities, we want to look down and see solar panels on every roof. We need to be making these investments in clean energy, in transit, and in the next generation of technology so that we can reduce our carbon emissions, address climate change, and improve our quality of life. Well, for decades and decades, the oil and gas industry have spent huge sums of money lobbying members of Congress and spreading misinformation, trying to discredit the scientific consensus. And it's only thanks to Georgia voters who gave us this narrow majority in the Senate that we have this historic opportunity to overcome all of that resistance from an entrenched industry and make a huge difference and finally address this crisis. It's our generation that recognizes the urgency of this moment. And I see myself as helping to carry that banner here in the US Senate to ensure that this infrastructure bill that we pass makes those investments in clean energy. But I would say to all the young folks who maybe aren't quite sure of how to plug into this conversation is the next month will be decisive. And every opportunity that young people have to call their representatives in Congress, to use their platforms and their voice to demand this change now. We have to rise to this moment. We may not get another chance.